Hello guys, I'm making this video today because of popular demand. I actually went live yesterday, though I went live late, and I later deleted the live after I finished it. So a lot of people have been asking for the live video, so I just want to go through what I talked about in the live because so many people that were waiting for me were not there when I finally went live. I have so many things to do. That was why I came late. So this is Facet Cyber. We are unmasking the means in cybersecurity. There are a lot of means out there about cybersecurity, and that was the purpose of this video, and that was the purpose of the live. So many people talk about how to make money in 5 days in cybersecurity, how to do this in cybersecurity in 2 days. So I want to just make a rundown through of cybersecurity, what it's all about, and everything about security. This video is going to actually be a very, very long video. So let's just pay attention and see how we can wrap it up as fast as possible. So what is cybersecurity? The evolution of cybersecurity, where cybersecurity was and where it is today. So we are also going to talk about Windows Server, Linux Server, cryptography, networking, cybersecurity setup, visual machine, and cloud services, DevOps, blockchain, AI, PowerShell, cyber attack, and DNS diving, dumpster diving, the use of VPN, and why we should continue to learn about cybersecurity and how we can end in the process of learning about cybersecurity, like you have seen there in the slide, and also resume, how to prepare resume. So these are the rundown brief things we are going to talk about, just to encapsulate everything about cybersecurity to paint a broad knowledge about cybersecurity. So first step is, what is cybersecurity? So cybersecurity is just, let's say, imagine your own house where you have a lot of precious things in your house, and you keep the door open. Somebody comes in and vandalize the house, maybe thief or anything. I always like to use this simple explanation when explaining to anyone what cybersecurity is all about. So how is our online presence or our digital presence equivalent to what the rule of cybersecurity? Everything now is online, from your digital information, your banking information, everything about us now. In short, we have two digital identity now, our digital identity and our offline identity. And our digital identity have the power to destroy our offline identity. That is where cybersecurity comes in, to protect us from unauthorized access going into vandalize or destroying that our digital identity, which can be our banking information, our personal data, and everything about us. So what does our personal data worth to us? What is the cost of cybercrime? So that is what we are just going to dive in. Just make it as fast as possible. Why cybersecurity? Like we just explained, just as we will not leave our front door open to thief to come in. That is why we have cybersecurity. That is why we have police, we have a military and everything in the physical world that we are living in. But in the digital world, the cybersecurity are the invisible heroes that are there day in, day night to make sure that our digital life is being saved from cyber criminal, from attackers, people that are looking to destabilize uh, our peace or invade our privacy. Think about things like from shopping online to our bank details and everything about us. So that is why we have cybersecurity. So if you are going to cybersecurity, or if you are just somebody that wants to learn about cybersecurity, cybersecurity is actually for everyone. Even if you don't want to take it as a career, you need to have this education about cybersecurity, how it works. Later, as we are talking on this slide, we are going to understand why everyone needs to at least understand the basics of what cybersecurity is all about. So now, diving into the real aspect of cybersecurity for those who want to take cybersecurity as a career. The first thing you should know about cybersecurity is the CIA threat. What is the CIA threat? The CIA threat is the foundation, the building block of cybersecurity. CIA threat is not the secret spy organization that we know about. This one is the principle, very important what anybody should understand about cybersecurity, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. How is your information private? Confidentiality is all about the act of keeping information private. It's about the act of secrecy. But note, this particular secrecy or confidentiality do not have to do with hiding information. Like we all know that according to Kesha principles, security should not be out of secrecy. Security should not be about obscurity. You understand? People should be able to understand everything about their security, but cannot still break into their system. That is what security should be all about. Security based on secrecy is not security. If you look at the image on this slide, about the penguin image of Linux system on this slide, you see the second image there is an encryption, ECB mode encryption. Yes, ECB mode encryption. That is an encryption, but if you look at that encryption, you can still tell that that is a penguin picture. But the other particular image is still that particular image being encrypted in a different ECB mode. Now this picture has been scrambled. Can you tell the third picture if it's a penguin picture? You can't tell. That is what we talk about confidentiality. Passing your information in a way that even if somebody gets hold of that information, man in the middle attack or whatever, the person cannot do anything with that information till the information reach the intended target. That is what confidentiality is all about. I'm going to explain this confidentiality in a more wider perspective so that we can understand. Now, as we were talking about confidentiality, why confidentiality is very important in cybersecurity and why this is the bedrock of cybersecurity, why anyone that goes into cybersecurity needs to understand this. Look at I'm not really good in drawing anyway. Look at what I'm trying to explain there in the whiteboard. What do you see there? That is a bank. And in that bank, we have three people in that bank: customer A, customer B, and customer C inside that bank. And that is the bank network, which all transactions pass through. And we have the receiving customer in the same bank, but notice something changed. We have the receiving customer, customer E, and we have another receiving customer, customer B, and we have customer G as another receiving customer. Now, what's happening in this scenario? We also have customer B monitoring the network of the bank. That is breach of confidentiality. Now, customer A sends 10,000 to customer G. Customer A sends 1,000 to customer G. Then now, customer B now sends 1,000 to his own self. That means customer B have two accounts inside the bank. So customer B now sends 1,000 to his account. Now, customer C now sends 20,000 to customer E. Now, customer B was monitoring the network of the bank. Now, the binary numbers that you see, they indicate the metadata of the bank, the encryption of the bank, how the data is passing through the bank network. Remember, everything's come down to binary, ones and zero, ones and zero. So now, while customer B was monitoring the network, he find out that a lot of numbers resemble like the same number that appears in the network appears when the customer B was sending his own transaction. He now saw that when he sent his own transaction, his own transaction of 1,000 naira or $1,000 go through the network like 101010. And he also sees that there are other transactions passing through the network having that exact same videos. Now, customer B now do not need to have information about who sent the money or who doesn't send the money. He now notice that there is another transaction passing through the network that do not have that exact same video. And the customer B now by himself understand that the more the volume of the transaction or the more the volume of the money being sent increase, that is how the last three metadata or the last three binary of the encryption increase. So what the customer B just needs to do is to switch the information that is called middleman attack. Switch the information before the information reach the receiving bank. Is switch the information of customer C in the network and put it in the information that is going to customer B at the receiving network, which is still the customer B. Now, whatever data that was in that information is going to reflect on customer B account. You now see why data needs to be confidential, because somebody can manipulate the data before it comes to you. So now, how will somebody manipulate the data before it comes to you? It's when the person understand or have a glimpse or can study the pattern and understand what you are trying to do or what the message is all about. When we are talking about cryptography or when we dive into cryptography, you understand that there are some cryptographic concepts that if somebody can get a gist of just one part of what your message is all about, it's possible to use it to decode all other part of your message. So this is an example what confidentiality is all about in cybersecurity. Like I showed you guys previously about the penguin encryption of the ECB mode, and still another encryption of the penguin without the with other mode, but not the ECB. Now, after understanding this particular explanation now about why data have to be confidential, when data lack that confidentiality, it lacks integrity. So remember about the attack, the man in the middle attack that I talked about in confidentiality. It now lead us to integrity. Without confidentiality, we cannot have integrity, because if customer B have swapped the data, whatever customer A will be receiving, it's not what customer A was sending to customer B. So imagine someone secretly changing your bank information or secretly changing your information without you knowing it. It lacks integrity. Then from that, we move on to availability. Remember, we talk about CIA threats, which is the fundamental backbone of cybersecurity. Availability, it's making sure that your information is available to you at when you need it. Imagine you going back to your house and you have your key, but someone else have maybe changed the key or maybe whether you cannot log into or you cannot enter your house. Your key are no longer working. Your key becomes useless. So when we are having ransomware, DOS attack, that make sure that you don't have access to your information. Your information have been encrypted. You are being asked to pay ransom before you get your information. So that is you don't lack of availability. Your information is not available to you. So the backbone of cybersecurity is making sure that data is confidential. The data that is going out and is coming in have integrity, and there is availability of that information at any time you need it. So now we understand that we move on to the journey of cybersecurity, why we need it now, and how it has evolved. I always like to tell people that the world as an internet changed since 1988. That is the journey of cybersecurity till we reach the complex defense nature of cybersecurity today, the ever evolving threat. That is what we call Morris worm, in just a seamless practical experiment that a computer science student, graduate of computer science students was carrying out in a lab, which leads to what we call the Morris worm, the first ever computer worm that affected the internet and messed up a lot of people, computer and system. That was when the world now wake up and understand that the internet is not safe. Computer as it is, it's not safe. Right from that moment, since 1988, internet has keep on evolving and changing. So this incident now leads to the cause of widespread of damages, which leads to in the 90s, we go into the area of antivirus. In the 90s, there were a different antivirus. The antivirus was a kind of program that it should be the first line of defense of threat in case of worm, virus, and all those things. The antivirus was acting like a kind of guidance, a front line to battle us against threat. But fast moving to the 21st century, cybersecurity defense have evolved. It's like cybersecurity, it's a fast evolving field. We have moved to the threat of artificial intelligence, machine learning, to so many other things in cybersecurity world. Antivirus, it's no longer protecting us. There are so many things you need to put in place in order to have these protections, because there are so many vast threats that is out there, that it's just there to make sure that your privacy has been compromised. That is where you come in, or we all come in as cybersecurity experts, in order to make sure that these threats can be contained. So, what is the current landscape of threat in cybersecurity? In today's cybersecurity, it's very daunting. Like, things keep changing daily. We face with so many numerous threats, from virus to ransomware to DOS attack to social engineering, phishing engineering, spearhead phishing, and all other techniques that cyber criminal using masquerading themselves to present themselves as trustworthy people through emails, and presenting themselves like an individual and everything, in order to do what? Extract your personal information out of you. What about the act of social engineering? The act of social engineering is even beyond technology itself. Even if you put out the weakest part of cybersecurity, the weakest part of security is the people. Even if you put into place the best monitoring system, the best AI, whatever system you have there, social engineering can still people can still use social engineering to get into the system. The first defense of cybersecurity is locking the door, making sure that somebody that is not supposed to be in a particular place is not supposed to be, because it's easy to be attacked from inside. As soon as somebody gets access into your compound, or get access into your data center, and it's inside, it can do so many things. So what is the act of social engineering? Sometimes, what if a religious leader, somebody you trust very well, tell you, okay, bring maybe your company laptop, your company phone to the church, so that we can pray, so that your business can move very well. Wouldn't you take it there? What if in the process of transferring that phone from your company premises to wherever you want to transfer it to, or the laptop, and something just gets happen and the data get compromised or whatever? So social engineering comes from different vectors. It comes from its spearhead phishing and every other aspect. Social engineering is another complex stuff itself that we will need to talk about in future. So it is important for all of us to be vigilant in this ever evolving threat. Very, very important. So diving into so many concepts of cybersecurity, like cryptography, we talk about cryptography and network security. Cryptography is also the bedrock of cybersecurity. All our phones, like we talk about, cryptography is the act of secrecy, the act of presenting information in a way that even if an unauthorized person have access to that information, he cannot understand what that information is all about. That is what cryptography is all about. Cryptography, the phone that we are using, the laptop that we are using, is cryptography is being implemented from TPM chip and the rest. From wireless encryption, the Wi-Fi that we are using, every single device that we are using, it's using the cryptography technology. Because without the encryption, our data is just there and it's exposed. So cryptography comes in to make sure that our message, even if it's intercepted, cannot be read by unauthorized access. It scrambles the data and present it to who intend to receive it in the proper format. So from cryptography, we now have things like firewall. What It's a digital gatekeeper. Like, when you proceed into the realm of cybersecurity, the next thing anyone in cybersecurity will have to understand is servers. That is where the data is. All the data is stored somewhere. Even if you are using AI, you are using whatever, the data is somewhere. It's being stored somewhere. How do we protect this server that is hosting all this information? It's by implementing monitoring and setting of firewalls. And this is done by cybersecurity experts. If you understand Windows security, Linux server, that is the Red Hat side, and how to use Windows servers. So with Windows servers, it makes life very easier. With Linux Red Hat, it makes life very easier. You can use just a single system remotely or visually to manage 10,000, 30,000 all other computer, and making sure that people that are using that computer actually do what you want them to do. And we move from servers to VPNs, making sure that our information have safe passage through the network without somebody monitoring it, without somebody taking a look at it. Though the laws that are in place now are weakening the use of VPN there. VPN is something, another broad concept that I'm going to still talk about. We are still going to discuss about it in subsequent video, because in 2024 that we are living, VPN are mostly useless. Except maybe you are using onions or Tor, or maybe something out of the monitoring zone. It's something we are going to still talk about it. But VPN technology, it's relying on, because of its heavy encryption, that people cannot know the source of the IP or know the source of the information and start to intercept it on the way. So that is what VPN is all about. So what are the emerging threats that are in cybersecurity, and the technologies that comes in order to help aid us to be secure online? The emerging technology, like we have blockchain technology, it's I call it a chain that we can trust. What is blockchain technology? We not everybody are using Bitcoin today, but the majority of people do not know what that particular technology is built on top. Bitcoin is built on top of blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is just a way to make sure that our information is not in one place. It's in a kind of public ledger, a decentralized platform that it's distributed everywhere. It's not saved in a particular place. So when you're here talking about Web3, so many companies are moving into Web3, a decentralized platform, and all those things. That is what blockchain technology is all about. And as a cybersecurity expert, you need to understand this concept. You need to understand what blockchain technology is all about, because it's also the core advanced move in helping cybersecurity to know how to build their threats and how to prevent criminals out there and use it effectively in order to protect their organization. So understanding blockchain technology is very important as cybersecurity experts. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the new sensation now. A lot of companies are implementing artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, though it's very good, it also have its own side effects. It's something that we are going to talk about: excess use of artificial intelligence, how it can hurt us. Remember, artificial intelligence, it's also like a data machine learning. It's a computer somewhere. It's just a powerful computer somewhere. So artificial intelligence also has really helped in the aspect of cybersecurity. So as a cybersecurity professional, you need to understand what artificial intelligence is all about. So moving on from artificial intelligence, the role that some tools that we have plays in cybersecurity, like cloud security. How does cloud security work? You need to understand how cloud security works. Cloud security is simply somebody providing a data center somewhere or anywhere for you to store your information and retrieve it anytime you want. That is what cloud is all about. It helps save business money. So you can start a business today without thinking of how am I going to save the data? Where am I going to keep the data? The expenses of buying our equipment and all those things. So that is what cloud is all about. And cloud, we have depths of DevOps engineer. What is DevOps engineer all about? It's DevOps is not really all about making sure that software development speed up, but DevOps is all about making sure that the life cycle of a software come out of the box with security. Security should not be an afterthought. Security should be implemented. So it's all about bringing the operation, the production, and everybody together. That is what DevOps is all about. And it's still also part of cybersecurity. So when people say that I want to be an expert in cybersecurity, I want to learn about cybersecurity and all those things, there are different domains and there are different inch in cybersecurity, which anyone can go into. Which cloud security, understand Amazon, AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, all of them, it's different cloud. Alibaba also have its own cloud, but it's not as popular as the rest. So understanding cloud security, you can become a DevOps engineer. So what other aspects of cybersecurity are we going to talk about? It's what tools and language do you need as a cybersecurity? PowerShell, it's very important. PowerShell is the powerhouse of scripting. You cannot be dealing with Windows Server and the rest, and you don't know your onions on PowerShell. PowerShell is a very powerful tool that have ever been invented for cybersecurity professionals. It's a very huge arsenal for experts because with PowerShell, it's not just a command line. PowerShell is not just a command line. You can use it to automate your workflow and everything. You can use PowerShell with Windows Server to install things in 50,000 systems just by a click. That is why you see every day Microsoft will keep inventing new rules, taking limiting the ability of some PowerShell features only for people that can understand it because it's very dangerous. When you are inside PowerShell environment, you don't need to hack anything. If you know what you are doing inside PowerShell environment, you can destroy so many things because working inside PowerShell, you are working inside the production environment. It's as dangerous as that. So understanding your PowerShell is very, very important in cybersecurity. What are other programming language? Python. Python, it's very cybersecurity friendly. It's not just a simple, because it's simple programming language. It also allows you to script. Understand your Bash. JavaScript, it's also helped in web security. It's very, very important to also understand that concept. So those are the first language you should need to understand as a cybersecurity person. Understand scripting with PowerShell. And when you are scripting with PowerShell, you need to have an understanding of how batch work. The basic of JavaScript. It's not really important, but if you are going to the web security side of it, you will really need it. So what else are we going to talk about? The spectrum of cybersecurity, the different inch that is there in cybersecurity, and how you can dive into it. We have SOX analysts. So SOX analysts are the people that understand in cybersecurity. We have what we call assets, understanding attack trees, knowing what is to protect and what is not to protect, what should be moving in high ranking of protection and all those stuff. We have GRC. What is GRC? GRC is simply governance, risk, and compliance. GRC are like the lawyers. Let's put it like the lawyers, people that are making sure that organizations are keeping to the rules, like a NIST rules. NIST rules have a lot of policy, like a bank. Maybe you are running a bank or you're having a POS. There is a cybersecurity rule you have to adhere to, which is I think the PCI SS rules. In order for you to own a POS or in order for you to run any way that is handling POS, because those are people's information, those are people's data. So that is what GRC analysis is all about. Can the technical writers, they write the law on how you can run your business, you can follow access controls, you can run your business, and what you can do and the controls you can put in place in order for you to run a successful business and reduce your likelihood of being hacked. Remember, we only have two companies in the world: the company that have been hacked and the one that have not been hacked. So how will you handle your stuff to make sure that it stays so that you have not been hacked? Because in the era that we are living now, anything is hackable if somebody puts in more efforts to it. Pen tester, it's the OSAN side, it's the ethnical hackers. Before I move out from GRC, GRC is basically when you hear people saying you can become a cybersecurity without knowing how to code and all those things. That is GRC. That is governance. That is risks and control. How to imitate the risks. Do you understand? So cybersecurity itself, which also built its foundation from GRC, governance, risks, and compliance, it's not really about you saying I'm a cybersecurity expert. It's how can you, if a company is being hacked, how can you as a cybersecurity expert make sure that the damage is minimal, make sure that this company come back to work? So the most part as a cybersecurity personnel or working in cybersecurity, it's making sure that the business is, like they call it, cyber resilience. If you are being hit, how can they come back? Because some business have been hit and they never make it back to business anymore. So I've already talked about pen testers, that the technical hackers and everything, incident handlers. These are ones that you need to always, if you are going to the inch of incident handlers, how it's your lab, how are you prepared in case of something happen? Because Something can happen at any time. System administrators, cybersecurity engineers, all these are also engine cybersecurity, cloud security, network security, wireless security, web app security. This is just a new evolving field. How can you protect all these applications that are being hosted in Google Play, Apple Store, and the rest? It's very important. Those are also engine cybersecurity. So, what other aspects? How can you end in cybersecurity? What could you do in cybersecurity? You can end in cybersecurity in different ways: consulting, and also transferring your idea of cybersecurity to other aspects. Like personally, me trading tech stock market. I've been in the monitoring field. I've been in the GRC field. I've been, I've been also incident handler, monitoring and understanding how security could impact a company and where company could go from here, from their security architecture and all those things. And I can understand tech stock. I can understand how a company can do well because of their security and whatever they are doing. I understand technology because cybersecurity is a mile wide and inch deep. In cybersecurity, you know almost basically everything, even if it's not a professional level, but the basic concepts of all technologies that it's in the field because you will need to protect all these stuffs. So if you understand that, you can understand where a tech company is going, if it's going to do this, if it's going to do that. Let's say somebody is very good in biochemist or somebody is a very good doctor. That doctor or a biochemist person could know what particular certification could do for a company in terms of pharmaceutical drug. It could know if it's going to bring the company down, or a particular pharmaceutical law that World Health Organization have just implemented could do to a particular company that is producing a particular drug or not. And they could know if that company will survive or it could fall. So they could go to the stock market, either short the stock or trade it long, hoping that, oh, it's going to rise because of this particular incident on you. So I do sometimes use my idea in cybersecurity to trade tech stock out of cryptocurrency. Fact that you understand how blockchain technology works and everything, you can trade cryptocurrency. You can use that idea to trade cryptocurrency because you understand how it works. You understand how all the altcoin is working. If the idea of a particular altcoin is going to see the light of the day or is not going to see the light of the day, and especially for those that is into technical again and the rest and all the technical stuff. Understand? Cryptocurrency trading also have some onions that if you implement, remember we have what we call technical hackers. Technical hackers are still hackers, but just want to use their idea for good. So in cryptocurrency, there is what we call inflation of price. The whales coming to the market. The Wall Street are doing it every day. There is what we call the Black Wall Street are doing it every day. Understand? They go in, they pump the coin, they dump it on some people. If you don't know what you are doing, if you don't understand these concepts and know what you are monitoring, you just go in and you just get hooked. But if you have some ideas of technicality of cybersecurity, you can excel in it. Freelancing, you can freelance in cybersecurity. Bulk banks, and also cybersecurity mindset. Cybersecurity mindset can help you in a lot of things, like avoiding a lot of scam. Like when you see somebody say, bring the money, you are going to become a cybersecurity in 2 days, 3 days. If you really understand the concept of cybersecurity, you might basically know, that is a lie. All these things that we go through, they run through. Some people might achieve this in 3 years, some might achieve this in 6 years. And remember, cybersecurity is a continuous journey. You should go into it with the right mindset, not with the mindset of start making money immediately. Build your skills. Your skills is very important in cybersecurity because at the end of the day, that is what you really need to do. You can't do without you harnessing your skill in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity doesn't really have room for that. That is why we have a lot of opening in cybersecurity year in, year out, but no one to fill the space. But we tend to have so many people that are interested or that are going into cybersecurity because a lot do not have the skills. So, lastly, what are we going to talk about? Resume. Resume. How do you build your resume? How do you present yourself? There is what we call application tracking system. Application tracking system, you need to make sure that you are using the right keyword when you are writing your resume. Simple formatting, not complex. Don't write your resume and put pictures and the rest, and it's not going to get past application tracking system. It's just going to drop it off. So you might have all this certification and everything. You don't know how to write simple resume, and you keep searching for job. So formatting your resume in the right format, it's very, very important. Standard heading, spell out acronyms. Your certification is important to bracket it and still spell it out. The right file type. Avoid using Microsoft Word when you are sending your resume because Your resume might be showing well in your phone or your laptop when you are using Microsoft, but people use different system, different laptop with different setting and everything, and it shows in a very complete wrong format when you are sending it to the HR. So when you always make sure that you send your resume on PDF because it's going to show that way everywhere. So using the right file type, how do you build your resume? Your professional title should come. Your technical proficiency should come. Your knowledge, soft skill is very important. How could you respond to an incident? Because cybersecurity is all about responding to an incident, critical thinking. Tools, what tools do you know how to use? Can you use Windows Server 2022, Snort, SIM tools, Splunk, and the rest? Your certification. Certification, the aspect of certification, it's a really gray area. Your certification can get you past the HR. But your experience is very, very important, knowing what you do. I've seen a lot of people in cybersecurity field that don't even really care about certification, but they're getting the real jobs in cybersecurity. So your experience should count. How you practice. What is your labs? You need to set up your lab. If you're a technical person, you go out there, capture all the flaws that you can. Customize your resume for each particular job. Don't just mass produce resume and just send it to everywhere. Remember, the first few paragraphs of your resume should be able to capture the interest of the HR, just sell you out. You can make your resume two-page or whatever, but the first few paragraphs should be able to give an idea of who you are just by a glance because these people have so many resumes to go through. Nobody's going to sit down and use more than a minute, if it's even reach a minute, to check your resume. So resume customization is very, very important. Your soft skill, we talk about soft skill. Continue learning. In your resume, you need to include that you are ready to continue to learn. Continue learning is very important because a lot of companies use different in-house software for their cybersecurity need. For the fact that you are an expert or for the fact that you have been in the field so many years, you can be employed in a company and you are not just familiar with the tools that they are using. Yeah, there are widespread standard tools, but some companies still have their customized in-house tools that they are using. So when you are willing to continue to learn and self-development, it's going to be easy. That's why I'm saying you shouldn't be prioritizing how to make money in 2 days with cybersecurity. You should be prioritizing how to build your skills. Because when you build your skill, it's easy for you to excel. Professional achievement, what project are you handling? What project have you achieved? What have you done? You go, like I said, you go out there, if you're a technical person, capture all the flag that you can't. Set up your lab. You need to have your own personal lab. Visual machine, setting up your visual machines and having prototype of some setup of security, your own customized rules, professional association, joining professional groups, some cybersecurity groups and everything. So that is just a rundown. This video is already long already. That is just a rundown of what I presented in the live, which I later deleted the video. So it's just that is what you need to understand what cybersecurity entails. And when we are talking about cybersecurity in the context of cybersecurity, there are a lot of inch in cybersecurity. You can start somewhere. Maybe cloud security, just pick what interests you. If you are somebody that is more like a technical person, you can pick the technical stuff. If you are somebody that is very good in making rules, writing out rules, you can go to the governance and risks and compliance stuff to make sure that the company are complying with all the rules that is there, the NICS rules, the GDPR rule, and the rest. So thank you very much. We are going to make, I'm going to make subsequent video breaking down step by step networking and the rest and whatever you can learn in cybersecurity in order to escalate yourself or to move your cybersecurity journey to the next level. So stay tuned till we meet again some other time. Bye for now.